So we met on September 3rd.
Yeah, we met every people on September 3rd, 2022.
So we got married this year on September 3rd.
2023. And on our license, they put September 2nd.
They violated us.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Okay, we haven't done a vlog in a little minute. Forgive us because Thanksgiving came and left. We was doing a lot. Today we're gonna talk about the day that we met, how we met, the things leading up to how we met. We love telling our love story, so I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to do it on YouTube. I already did it on TikTok, but without him. So now y'all get to hear his perspective on how we met.
Finally.
So we could start off with, like, I guess our lives before.
Yeah, that sounds good. Since I converted to Islam, I kind of just took myself kind of like off the, I guess, the current dating market, meaning that I was more so just watching from the sidelines.
And when did you convert?
I started practicing in 2013, right? But I didn't convert until 2015, so I got to like test drove the religion a little bit before I actually converted. I kind of just took some time just to spend it like getting to learn like the deen, building my relationship with Allah and things or whatever. So it's like, for me, I wasn't really so focused on like marriage or like dating or anything like that. So I think about around like 26, I started being open to the idea of actually like dating. And, you know, for me, I done tried everything. I tried the Muslim dating apps. I feel like they weren't really like, you know.
Which ones you tried?
I tried Minder, I tried Minder, right? But it might be called something else now. I don't think it might be called like, I think it's still called Minder. No, it's called Salams now. Then I also was on Muzmatch, which is called Muz now. That was like horrible. That scarred me, like personally, right? Because I feel like people on the dating apps aren't really serious, right? And then also is like meeting someone online versus meeting them in person. Like I have like Muslim brothers that I'm close with that have met like their wives off of the dating apps. But so I'm not saying for anybody that's out there that wants to use the dating app that it's like not going to be something that's successful. Like one of my boys got married from the dating app. It's just like I always pray istikhara prayer whenever I met someone. And I got Allah involved very quickly.
Tell them what istikhara prayer is.
So istikhara prayer is the prayer that you take, that you should make often. Like for any Muslim, they should make it whether it's like you're trying to get a new job, whether you want to move to a new city, whether you want to have kids. It can even be as far as just like whether or not, you know, if you should, you know, move out your parents' house or not. Like it can just be any type of decision that would kind of affect your life in a sort. While you're relinquishing your knowledge, right, and you're asking Allah that if this is good, the thing that you want to do, if it's good for you, if it's beneficial for like your deen, right, your hereafter, your life after death, like your livelihood, which you're currently doing in life, then you're basically asking Allah to allow it to happen. But then in reverse, you're asking Him that if it's not good for your deen, for your religion, for your livelihood, right, and for your hereafter, for Allah to put a barrier between you and that and what you're desiring, and for Him to keep it far away from you because it's something that Allah and His knowledge knows that's not good for you.
So I wasn't praying for a husband for a minute. I think last year around June was the first time I prayed for a husband. Allah, please grant me a husband. I wanted him to be African American. I said tall, but the tall was like a little sprinkle. It wasn't like something that it was like. It was a sprinkle. It wasn't something that was, like this is a definite no. Definitely, I was just like, had to have a relationship with Allah, had to be praying, had to know about the deen, like definitely things that I feel like was important to me.
The prayer goes, "Oh Allah, please grant me a spouse whom you're pleased with and is pleased with you. A spouse who I'm compatible with emotionally, mentally, spiritually, intellectually, physically, and morally. A spouse who I can serve and worship Him with, praise and glorify Him with, and sanctify His name with. A spouse whom I can raise righteous children with for His sake. A spouse whom I can live in peace and tranquility with. And also I ask for a spouse that, you know, that I can enjoy and have, you know, fun and peace in this life and the next." I feel like this lovely lady next to me has like checked off every box. And it showed the power of prayer. Like it's one of the things that showed me that Allah is constantly listening to your dua.
So yeah, he just wanted to say his prayer because it sounded better than mine. But I think, when he told me it, it was like, oh wow, that's actually really beautiful. And it made me think of like my prayer. And I was like, wow, I don't know. Maybe, and it's interesting to think about, but I think like he was praying obviously longer than I was. Last year was the first time I prayed. He was praying for 4 years. So I think it took for me to finally make that prayer for us to like Allah to put it together. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She was the delay. She was the reason why I had to wait for 3-4 years.
Before we get into how we met, let me talk about a little bit about I feel like the months leading up to how we met. So a lot of things was happening during those months for me personally. But the months before, I kid y'all not, I was talking about a husband way more than I've ever spoken about a husband ever before in my life. So I think after I prayed about it, it was just constantly on my mind. So in my stories, if you remember, I would be saying I'm doing my makeup to go to a coffee shop because I want to be my husband in this way. So I went to literally 2 coffee shops, 2 different days, 2 different coffee shops with makeup done. Or maybe I could find my husband in this way. So I did that. Literally, my sisters.
Don't you kill him.
My sister's, what's it called?
Bridal shower?
My sister's bridal shower came. And at her bridal shower, I was just playing around. I was like, bride to be. And it was pointing to me. But me and my sister, we was just kiki. That happened. Then after that, I had posted on a reel on my page. And I was like, this is how I want to be my husband. I want us to be kind of out of the movie. But I believe August 22nd, I posted that reel. Literally, what is that, 2 weeks later? Mm-hmm. 2 weeks later, I met him.
But as for the day that we met, right? I don't like to party. I think after college, I stopped being around big crowds of people, right? I feel like I started telling myself I'm an old head. So one of my good friends, name is Will. Hopefully, I gotta give Will a shout out. And we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Will. He wants to go outside. He wants to be outside, and it's the summer, right? And I'm looking at him bro, I ain't really trying to be outside. I'm trying to be in the house. So, but I'm there to support him. I'm like, so whatever is gonna help him be in a better mood, I'm gonna do it. So he wants to go to the city. Right, and he's in a fraternity, so for me, I'm thinking...
And mind you, he doesn't live in New York. He lives in Jersey.
So, I was going to New York only under the condition that we were going to go to the Met Museum. I was trying to delay. Will even tell yourself, I was not trying to go anywhere but the museum. We were at the museum for about 30 minutes, maybe 40. Will started waiting after 30 minutes in. Will started waiting by the exit we need to go. This museum is boring and ain't worth it, right? So then he had a party to go to that one of his fraternity brothers was working and we would get in for free.
That weekend was sold out, especially everybody wants to be outside Labor Day weekend in New York. If you didn't have tickets, you was not getting in.
Not getting in. Yeah. And then, we weren't even on guest list. We weren't even on anything. It was just because he knew the people that were working there, we were able to get in.
During this time, I had a friendship breakup. And so the person I was out with all the time, we didn't talk anymore. So this is the second party I ever went to alone. I went to one party alone. I was like, it's not bad. But every people would be packed. So I was really, really nervous. But I was just I want to be outside Labor Day weekend. So I hit up my friend Nunny, shout out to Nunny, because he put me on his guest list for free. So I was like, okay. So I got a ticket to Everyday People. So I went.
Long story short, we neither one of us paid to get in.
So boom, by myself, kiki, ooh, ooh, ooh. On TikTok, I showed mad videos of me dancing because I really was excited. I went somewhere alone to a party. So my friend Senna, shout out to Senna, because if it wasn't for Senna, I wouldn't have met him either. So Senna came. He's like, oh, where you at? I said, oh, I tell him where I'm at. He's like, oh, I'm by the bar. So I already know where he at. Because I was already standing in that one spot for mad long. I was like, all right, I'm going to just come by you. I will show you videos if I still have it. It was packed, okay? So what I did, y'all not going to know, but I went all the way around. I squeezed through so many people to get to Senna. It was insane, okay? And at this point, I just stopped at a place, which was near the bar. And I was like, I'm here. He was like, well, I'm near where you are. I said, I was irritated. I just squeezed through so much people. And so I was like, all right, I'm coming, but I need a minute. I'm just going to stand right here for a second because I just needed a breather. It was a lot. So as I'm standing there, I kid you not, I was only standing there for 2 minutes. 2 people come, but they literally bumped me, and they bumped me so hard to the point where I get pushed into his friend Will. Now, I'm not like this to Will. I'm probably more like this. So I flew. And I'm like, and then immediately I start cursing people out because they got me tight.
I feel like a whole bunch of commotion going on behind me. I'm not even really peeping. I look behind me. By the time I look behind, I see her basically snapping on the guy that bumped her. I look back, I'm like, damn, she got pushed. And I look back, I think, in my head, I'm looking hold up. Look back again, I said, damn, she's beautiful, right? So then I asked her, is she okay? I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine.
I found it really nice, the fact that he definitely checked on me, because he didn't have to do that. Because he also, but I guess he figured also he didn't see anyone with me, so that's also why. Mm-hmm. And that's the other reason why it was I feel like it's only Allah, because literally, if I did not end things with that friend, right, he probably would have never came up to me, because he probably would have felt like, oh, she's with somebody got her, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that I was alone, and especially if I was with my friend Sinner, Sinner's a man, so he definitely wouldn't have came over if I was with Sinner.
I kept saying to her, I did compliment her, that she was beautiful. She said thank you. And I started noticing that she looked like she was kind of like just sitting there, like the conversation started kind of like dying down just a little bit. Right, and I asked her, like, oh, like, do you have, like, Instagram? And at this time, I'm taking a social media break. Like, I deactivated my Instagram account.
I think he was lying, because you know how men be like, I don't have social media. I'm like, you're lying. So when he was about to go and check
my Instagram
username, I saw my nosy self looked at his screen and saw the Muslim Pro app. Mm-hmm. And for those that don't know, Muslim Pro app, it tells you what time to pray, it tells you what the position to pray, and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, I said, are you Muslim? And he was like, yeah. And then he asked me, am I Muslim? I was like, yeah.
I started asking her every question. I'm like, do you pray 5 times a day?
Yeah. Do you fast during Ramadan?
For me, it was like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's like, if you guys were to ask me, like, when was the moment that you felt like you knew Raya was your person? Or like, seriously, it was that moment. When we started talking about the Deen, it felt like that's when our bubble got created. And I'm still looking for my Instagram, right? I end up finding it, end up adding her. When she departed, I'm not gonna lie to you guys at all. I looked up to the sky and I was like, Allah, you didn't just do that. Like, you didn't just do what I just think you just did. Like, I'm like, nah, there's no way, because they're saying in Islam where it says that Allah will provide from places that you least expect. Okay, so then the next day, right, I'm still hanging out with Will. Will going to say, yo, you better hit her up. Like, why you waiting so long? This might be like probably going into like, the afternoon, like 1 o'clock.
So I was just like, all right, he ain't gonna say, I'm just gonna put out the messages. I feel like we still have the messages.
Before she sent the message out, I'm typing it, right? I'm literally typing it. It's taking me like 30 minutes to type this message, guys.
I'm like, dang.
I'm typing a message, and I'm looking like, do I say the right thing? Like, I know what to say first. Through the mercy of Allah, she hits me up first. Allah, you making this easy.
Mm-hmm. And then from then on, like, we was talking. We met in New York, we got engaged in New York, and we got married in New York. Yeah. So New York will forever have a
special place in both of our hearts.
Yeah, especially everyday people. Shout out to everyday people.
Shout out to them. Shout out to
Yeah, that is a story of how we met. We love telling our love story. I think it's an amazing story to tell. It just shows you that, you just have to have patience, make dua, and, pray. Like, I feel like you have to have faith that these things will happen for you. If you have any questions for us, put it down in the comment section. We'll be gladly to answer it down there or in another video if there's a lot of questions that you guys have. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching.
And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.